Hey, you guys, it's your boy Nick. I hope your Monday is going well. If this is your first time ever watching one of my videos, please subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. All right, you guys, today I'm going to tell you the story about how one of my caregivers from my past decided that it would be a good idea to neglect me. Now, you're out there saying, wait, one of your caregivers decided to neglect my boy Nick? My boy Nick got neglected? Yeah, your boy Nick got neglected, but before you ask me for their home address and where they live, I got this. Anyway, so let me tell you the story. So, actually, it was Memorial Day weekend a couple years ago, and she decided to make honey mustard chicken, which is actually really good, but the chicken's not the part of the story that you need to be concerned with. So she made honey mustard chicken and she made asparagus. And I actually love asparagus. It's one of my favorite vegetables, and I don't eat a lot of vegetables. In fact, now I don't eat any vegetables, which is probably a bad thing. But I love asparagus, and I have always eaten asparagus with my fingers. So this particular night, I just went on like normal and I ate asparagus with my fingers. Well, this Karen flips out, and we'll refer to her as Karen throughout the entire video because she really acted like a Karen. This Karen flips out and is like, OMG, Nick, you eat like such a slob. Your parents didn't teach you anything. What? My parents didn't teach me anything. You know nothing about my parents. What are you talking about? So when she immediately said that, that pissed me off. And I was already having issues with this Karen anyway because she tried to micromanage everything that I tried to do. If I ate too fast, if I, was eating too much junk food, I'm like, girl, I'm like almost 30 years old. I'm not going to listen to you, okay? Whatever. So she was always flipping out. This, for me, went over the top when she insulted me about my parents and said I eat like a slob and all this stuff. I immediately emailed my case manager after she left that evening. And my case manager was awesome. I loved my case manager. She was the best. And I emailed her after she left because I have to dictate my emails, which means I have to talk to my phone or computer or whatever. And I didn't want her to hear that I was emailing my case manager about this incident. So, well, Karen just happened to have a sister, Jill. Did you all know that Karen has a sister, Jill? Yeah, well, you're going to meet her tonight in this video as well. So, Jill comes to relieve Karen of her duties after Karen had worked all day, getting all worked up over some asparagus. And so Jill spent the overnight. Well, Jill must have heard me dictating an email about her younger sister, Karen, because nobody is going to mess with Karen because Big Jill is going to take care of it. So Jill tells Karen the next day that I dictate an email about Karen and how rude I thought she was, and I wanted to switch staff. So then Karen was like, well, if Nick's gonna dictate an email about me, I've got a bright idea. Let's neglect and not feed him all day. So, and keep in mind, I think I already told you this was Memorial Day weekend. But if I didn't tell you, this was Memorial Day weekend from a couple years ago. So I get up, I'm in my chair and everything, but she doesn't come in and offer me like any food or whatever, and she's not talking to me. She basically treats it as though as she is working at a mausoleum. I mean, she doesn't respond to anything I say. She doesn't answer any of my questions, anything, because her big sister Jill had already told her that I sent this email. So she also got my roommates involved, little Miss Karen. And she basically told my roommates not to talk to me. They had made plans to go out somewhere for the day. And she told my roommates, who I had a good relationship with when they weren't threatening to kill me. That's another story. I had a good relationship with my roommates when they weren't threatening to kill me. So I would come in every morning and say, hey guys, what's going on? What you doing today? And they're like, oh, nothing. Or they wouldn't say a word to me. And I noticed that they were getting ready to go somewhere. So I was like, hey guys, where are you going? And they're like, somewhere. They're just very general about it. Somewhere. And finally, I found out that they were going to the Dollar General, and little Miss Karen, because everybody decided to leave adulthood for the day and go back to middle school, told my roommates not to tell me where they were going. So they were gone for a couple hours, whatever, I don't care. Bye, Felicia. Anyway, so by this time, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't been offered any food. She feeds my other roommates and doesn't offer me anything. So when they leave and go to the dollar store, I think they went to Walmart or something too. And when they leave and go to the dollar store, I go ahead and I order my own food. I order some like sub sandwiches and stuff. But then I'm corresponding with my case manager the entire time. I email her everything, and she's just incredible. And of course, it's Memorial Day, so nobody's in the office, so nobody hears about anything until Tuesday. So I reported her for this neglect, and she barely got a slap on the wrist. In fact, she still works for the same awful provider that gave her a pass on this. And I reported her to the state as well as the provider, which they loved because I then decided to take to the state every issue that I've ever had with this provider. And pretty much it made this provider hate me even more. And there's a video coming up soon, guys, where I had to call 911 for one of my caregivers. That's probably going to come up this week. Same provider. And they got mad at me for that. But that's a totally different story. But anyway, so yeah, I reported this provider and this individual to the state, and nothing was done. There was no justice. They were like, Nick, because you were able to get your own food, we can't really process it as neglect. It shouldn't have happened to you, and this is wrong, but because you were able to get your own food and care for yourself in that way, we can't process it as neglect. So they got away with it. Isn't that lovely? There's no justice for people with disabilities in this system. And all the bad people get to stay working, and it's all the good people that get all the write-ups and everything else. But anyway, yeah, it was an unforgettable Memorial Day weekend, and thankfully I have not had this problem with my current provider. I love my current provider. They're awesome. They have things to work on, but they're still awesome. So I'm glad to be out of that situation. But I thought you would love to know the story of a caregiver who decided to neglect me, and she actually got away with it. It's one of the reasons I don't live where I used to live anymore. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have an awesome Monday night. I'll see you soon. Like tomorrow. Okay.